And good evening, everybody. Welcome here as we get ready to cap off our race weekend at FTF Super Speedway with the running of the FTF 300. Getting set for our 11th race of the season of the 5th season of the NCRA Hershey's Cup Series. And boy, you know, why don't we just start the chase right now? We've got some very interesting names up here that have won, that are eligible for chase spots in the hunt for the championship. I mean, it can only get better, right? It's been unbelievable so far this year. Some of the names that we've had redemption stories. We've had drivers that have been consistent after Season 4, and we've also had drivers that have been able to snap some pretty long winless streaks. As a matter of fact, 6 drivers back at Daytona came in with winless streaks over 60 races, and up to this point, 3 of those drivers have snapped those winless streaks. You end up having Chris Dodd snap his winless streak at Daytona. Cole Baker snapped his winless streak at Texas. And last week, Keith Batson snapped a 92-race winless streak at Kansas to pick up his first career Hershey's Cup Series victory. Could we see somebody else do it here tonight? The other 3 remaining drivers that have those long, extensive winless streaks are Brandon Gonzales, Dylan Young, and Nathan Hudson. Could we see one of them take the checkered flag here tonight? We'll have to wait and see. Last time we were at a super speedway, it was Talladega. Trent Dunham picked up his first win of the season, and he lines up on the pole for tonight's race. So we'll see if Trent Dunham can double down super speedway style and join Chris Dodd as a repeat winner this season. Alongside of him, we saw Lincoln pick up their first points-paying win last week with Keith Batson. Their other driver, K Tellier, lines up on the outside of the front row. She's looking for her first win since Season 3. Tonight, it's going to be 14 laps of racing, which means that we will be having, obviously, our stage racing, which will be 5, 5, and 4. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to have it be 15 laps to have it 5, 5, and 5, so it'll be 5, 5, and 4 this evening with the completions of laps 5, 10, and 14. Also tonight, we should keep in mind that with it being the CTS Physics, we could very well have green flag pit stop not just once, but maybe even twice tonight. We had green flag pit stops in last night's Pizza Hut X Series race one time, so these drivers may have to make more than one stop before we reach the checkered flag. Let's go down trackside and get the command.
Drivers, start your engines!
And if you didn't tune into the Pizza Hut X Series race here last night, I'm going to apologize in advance for any fails I make on the camera views, because when they hit the tri-oval on TV1, there is a spot where there is a glaring spotlight, and oh, wait a minute, do we have problems for the 70? She's rolling. I guess she's just got to get it up to speed. All right, I think she's okay. But she did not get rolling off very quickly. But there is a spot where I have to change the camera views. This is another spot as well there, where I have to swap between TV2 and TV1. Although, a lot of times I tend to swap over to the helicopter view. So I do apologize for my camera skills in advance. But nonetheless, it's time to give you your top 10 in points coming into tonight's race, presented by Golden Corral. Keith Batson, with his win last week at Kansas, has now jumped up 2-point leader. He has a 27-point advantage over Zachary Fitzwater. Brandon Gonzales is third. He's 38 points back. Joshua Michaels and Cole Baker complete your top 5 in the points. J Arndt is in 6th. Chris Dodd in 7th. Jessica Shelton is up to 8th, and we know she's always a threat when we come to super speedway, so we'll see what she does here tonight. In 9th is Daniel Guilbert, and Caleb Farrell right now is the highest running rookie in the point standings in 10th. We have 4 former winners this season in the top 10. Chris Dodd, Joshua Michaels, Keith Batson, and Cole Baker. Those drivers outside of the top 10 that have a win: Alex Drayton is 11th, James Richardson is 13th, Sean Gallighan is 19th, Trent Dunham 28th, so he's right near that cut line. He needs a good run here tonight. And Anthony McCrury, despite having a good finish last week at Kansas, is still mired down 33rd in the point standings. He only gained 1 spot last week at Kansas in the points, so he needs to get himself back up into the top 30 to have his win this season count towards a spot in the chase for the championship. Just want to look at the rear of the field. Okay, everybody is good. I was seeing some straggling back there, and I didn't know if somebody was having an issue or not, but it looks like all 39 cars will be taking the green flag in this one. Saw that track position, a big key factor for the Pizza Hut X Series race here last night, but these drivers are a different kind of physics. So it could be entirely different for them. We also know the suck-up is tremendous, and CTS physics have tremendous suck-up, whether they're suck-up or not. So there's going to be a lot of drivers getting big runs on these straightaways. There we go. I almost shifted to the helicopter cam, but I got it right at least one time here, as Trent Dunham and K Tellier will bring us down to the green. We're underway at FTF. Let's roll. Boy, J Baskinger timed that green flag. He's going to get to the outside of K Tellier. And now he's going to try and get alongside of Trent Dunham. And there you saw my skills, putting us to the spectator cam rather than TV1. So expect that a lot tonight. Trent Dunham, of course, with that Talladega race win, now his goal is maybe to be out in front here, get himself some playoff points. Playoff points coming into this race are very interesting as well. I was looking at the stage points of drivers so far this season that have stage points heading in towards the playoffs. Keith Batson actually has the highest amount of playoff points with 4 after he won all 3 stages last week at Kansas. Boy, this is wadded up here at the front. I'm telling you what, Chris Dodd's got 3 playoff points. Benjamin Miles, Cole Baker, they have 2. K Tellier actually also has 3. I failed to mention that. And then other drivers with 1, including Key, Sean Gallighan, Alex Drayton, Dylan Poteet, Daniel Gilbert, Dylan Young, James Richardson, K Mathews, Joshua Michaels, Jessica Shelton, and Trent Dunham. Field a lot more wadded up here at the front in this one than they were in the Pizza X Series race. The field got really spread out in the Pizza Hut race last night. And the green flag pit stop certainly didn't help out in that either. Apologize for the low frames. I don't know what's going on there. And Trent Dunham looks like he's going to be able to pull a Dale Earnhardt Sr., at least for the moment. He will lead them to the line and lead the first lap. But now the outside line is starting to get momentum. J Baskinger leading that outside line. He's got B Allan, and I believe that's K Mathews in tow. And nope, that was Cole Baker and K Mathews. And Baskinger slingshotting around the outside has taken the race lead. Baskinger was one of the 3 drivers last week that was in the conversation for the win at Kansas. It came down basically between himself, Blaine Keys, and the eventual race winner, Keith Batson. So obviously Baskinger looking for a little bit of redemption here. Mentioned last week, and we'll mention it this week, that Baskinger is 4 for 4 in making the Hershey's Cup Series chases for the championship. Only driver that has made every chase in his career since the inception of the Hershey's Cup Series. And a win here tonight could lock him into his 5th straight chase. As behind him, Cole Baker's got no friends. B Allan's got no friends. They're going to go 3 wide for second. That's K Mathews all the way down to the bottom. And he's going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. He'll move from 4th to 2nd in the matter of a couple of corners. Trent Dunham there to offer the drafting help. Then you got J McCloud and Anthony McCrury following in line. Might have been a little contact right there between Trent Dunham and B Allan. The one car kind of jerked to the left awfully quickly. And here comes K Mathews for the race lead. Already this race shaping up a lot better than the Pizza X Series race was. A lot of jostling for position. Look at Cole Baker going to cut right down in front of B Allan, and now he's going to do a crossover for 2nd on the 5 of Baskinger. Cole Baker's 2nd career win in the Hershey's Cup Series came a few weeks ago at Texas. His first career win back in Season 3 was at Talladega, so he knows how to get it done at the restrictor plate tracks. K Mathews, if I remember correctly, his last win came last season during the chase for the championship at Dodge Motordrome. He was a 2-time winner last season, if memory serves me correctly. And here comes Cole Baker to the bottom of the racetrack for the top position, as I failed there on the controls. Baker about to have a teammate up here momentarily. Anthony McCurry there in the 61 trying to get to him. Chevy's right now up inside the top 6, top 7, top 8. As a matter of fact, you look there and there's an opportunity for a couple more teammates to work together. Dylan Poteet is now trying to take the 4th position from B Allan, and not too far back behind the Sunchip Chevrolet is J McCloud. So Twin X Racing's got an opportunity to get 2 of their cars hooked up. course, McCloud was a 2-time winner last season. Poteet was a 3-time winner. Both drivers made the chase. They're both still looking for their first win this season. Their rookie teammate Alex Drayton, he's already found victory lane this season, the only rookie to do so far. Speaking of which, who would currently be our rookie of the race? Looks like it would be K Shearer. There he is. Trying to pick up a spot on Levi McIntyre, J Shelton. We know that the Super Speedway program for CJ Racing pretty doggone good, as Chris Dodd, of course, picked up the win in the Daytona 500. Cole Baker's gotten out to a bit of an advantage right now. Not certain that's a good thing. J Baskinger, Dylan Poteet, if they start getting lined up, they're going to reel him in pretty doggone quick, especially when they hit this straightaway. So it all depends on if Poteet will ride behind the Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet, or will he step out of line? Nope, he's going to step out of line, and so that's going to kill any forward momentum they would have. Unless Brooke Allan and Anthony McCrury stick with Dylan Poteet, Poteet might be able to catch Cole Baker for the race lead by the time they get down here into this corner. Cole Baker, Dale Earnhardting it here. He moves low, gives a little whiff of draft to the low side, moves high, helps pull that outside line, and doesn't allow either one of those two lanes to be able to get a big enough run to get to his back bumper. But, you know, the only thing that's going to benefit Baker is he may end up getting some stage points and a playoff point for winning the first stage. The only other thing, though, that you got to keep in mind is all this could be a moot point, because we are going to have at least one round of pit stops, whether it be under green flag or yellow flag conditions. We ran the entire Pizza Hut X Series race here last night without a caution. It wasn't incident-free. We had an issue coming to pit road. There's James Richardson now up into the 5th position behind Anthony McCrury. Richardson coming into this race 13th in points. We haven't really talked a heck of a lot about the 11 since his win at Sonoma earlier on this year. But he still remained consistent, and there's K Shearer right behind him. Last 2 weeks, it's been Alex Drayton who's gotten Rookie of the Race, ending that, 4-5 race streak of K Shearer's when he won Rookie of the Race honors. And now K Shearer trying to get back into that streak. As a matter of fact, he comes into this race only 3 points over Caleb Farrell in the rookie standings, so trying to extend that. Got 4 points in hand over Quentin Moore and 7 points over Alex Drayton. Cody Smart is 5th, which is last in the rookie points, and he's 11 points out so far. Best battle has been for 2nd. I thought for a moment they were going to get to the back bumper of the No Man's Sky Chevrolet, but now they're back battling for the runner-up spot. Brooke Allan going to move by for that spot on Dylan Poteet. Anthony McCrury following suit. Brooke Allan had a great run last week at Kansas, finished top 10. She finished in 7th place, so good momentum on the part of the 3-car. That moved her up to 24th in the point standings. And now K Shearer going to move to the inside for the top position. Well, not the top position, I should say, for 2nd place. Could be for the top position. He's got a big run here on Cole Baker. He's looking. Baker offered him a little bit of room, and Shearer's going to stick his nose in. K Shearer going for the top position, and he will make the pass. A little bit of help there from Kyle Mathews, Daniel Guilbert, and there's Johnny Gardner now up there in the mix. He'll move into 4th. K Shearer out in front showing the way, but for how long? Ooh, looked like Kyle Mathews wanted to make a little move for the top position, but Daniel Guilbert got to his inside. Not going to be able to make the pass, though, as Guilbert, so now Mathews hangs on to 2nd, and now we'll rewind up that rubber band and try and find momentum to get by K Shearer down to this corner. He's looking. He's looking. Does he have enough momentum? He's there. He's to the left rear. Now we just need some drafting help to help push him by K Shearer. Here comes some help in the form of Johnny Gardner and Daniel Guilbert. Hey, look who's popped his way up into the top 10. That yellow car at the tail end of this group, that's Chris Dodd, our Daytona 500 winner. He's the only driver so far this season that has a 2 in the win column, the only multiple win winner so far. And are we having pit stops? Nope. They just got down right on that yellow line. Look at this, Kyle Mathews not going to give J Gardner a whole lot of room, and he's going to have some friends up top side, try and hang on to the top spot. He'll at least lead that lap. Now the inside line's got more drivers. But Chris Dodd, he can kind of go for broke here and maybe try and pick up his 3rd win of the season. He's never had 3 wins in a single season. He did have 2 back in season 2, his championship winning season, but he's never had 3 wins in a single season. There's some other drivers that have caught up into this group as well. Tim Walsh, Dallas McIntosh, and Levi McIntyre, so don't count them out. As a matter of fact, 3 of the 4 CJ racing cars are up in this lead group. The 34 of Shearer, the 88 of Dodd, and the 15 of Tim Walsh. At a super speedway, you want to have a teammate up there to help you. Levi McIntyre, the last car in this group. Then there's a gap back to a 2nd group. Sean Gallighan, Trent Dunham, Jessica Shelton, Quentin Moore, Brandon Gonzales in this group. Blaine Keys along with Nathan Hudson and Garrett Sydnor. Then you go back a little further. Benjamin Miles is all by himself. Charles Sandfer by his lonesome. Caleb Farrell, Hartnett, Matt Haas, L Alvarise. There's a group back here that can start making up some ground. Cody Llamas, Cody Smart, Joshua Michaels, and J Arndt. J Bryant. Oh, and one car is blown up. That's K Tellier. It's the 2nd straight week that K Tellier has had some kind of mechanical problem. She came to pit road in the closing stages of our Kansas race last week, finished multiple laps down, and now the engine is let go on her Lincoln. Alex Drayton also way back here. Zachary Fitzwater, last time out's winner. Keith Batson way back here, along with Dylan Young. And I think Chris Dodd just was on pit road. I think we got pit stops going on, actually. Yes, we do. I think Chris Dodd hit pit road. Oh, no. Chris Dodd did not hit pit road. Chris Dodd is actually the only driver that stayed out. Everybody behind him just came to the pit lane. Kyle Mathews will get off pit road first of this group with J Gardner and K Shearer in tow. So now we got to follow the 88. Make sure he doesn't run out of fuel before he gets back to the start-finish line. He's certainly not going to lay down any lightning-fast lap times as he has no drafting partner. And that could also help or hurt him in terms of fuel conservation. So you got to wonder if maybe he was saving some fuel to be able to stay out an extra lap. Could have very well gotten boxed off of pit road as well. No caution out for the 70 car of K Tellier, who has now taken her car behind the wall. Camshaft issue for her. FTF, you run such high RPMs. We're here in the middle of Salt Lake City, Utah, out here in the desert. So the temperatures are anything but cool, and so it's just wear and tear on these engines. And Chris Dodd will undoubtedly come to pit road this time. I don't see him going another extra lap. Yep, he's coming to the pit lane. So now we have to see where he's going to come out in relation to everybody else. Because Kyle Mathews, J Gardner, all those drivers, they ended up coming off pit road altogether. And so, obviously, you would think their lap time this next time around is going to be a lot faster than Chris Dodd's lap time was this last time by. So, Chris Dodd could very well be a sitting duck by the time he leaves pit road. Can hear some engines starting to make their way here, and there they are. Kyle Mathews, Daniel Gilbert, Anthony McCrury, K Shearer, and J Gardner in this lead pack, and it has definitely split the field up. Now you got Dylan Poteet, Richardson, Allan, Baskinger, and McIntyre back in this group, and then McIntosh, Gallighan, Blaine Keys, Tim Walsh, Quentin Moore, Nathan Hudson in this group. Cole Baker's drifted a long ways back with Garrett Sydnor. Still a ways to go in this one, so there is time for these drivers to all start catching each other once again. Chris Dodd's going to get out ahead of this group, but I think he's going to very easily be freight trained by the time they get to the straightaway. So it looks like the race lead could very well cycle around to the National Guard Chevrolet of Daniel Gilbert. They're single file up here, though, so these drivers might be able to maintain their gap between themselves and that second group. We'll have to see next time by at the line what it is. The gap between J Gardner and Brooke Allen the last car in the first lead pack and the first car in the second pack was a total of 4.2 seconds. We'll have to see if this second group makes up any ground whatsoever on the first group. There's 6 cars in the first group, 4 cars in the second group. They may get swallowed up by this group. This group is starting to eat up some drivers. Blaine Keys, Nathan Hudson, Quentin Moore. This may be the group with all the momentum. They're going to get by Levi McIntyre now, and Levi will be able to merge with this group. Trent Dunham and Garrett Sydnor there at the tail end, the caboose on this freight train. Blaine Keys may be the car leading the charge to get up here to these top 6, who are now kind of broken up. Now K Shearer and Johnny Gardner kind of broken up there. Kyle Mathews as well. That's not going to help them in terms of gaining ground on that second and third group, which could very well become one big hungry pack of drivers. And there's still plenty of race to go. 5 laps remaining as they hit the stripe this time by. Daniel Guilbert, Chris Dodd, Anthony McCrury, K Shearer, Johnny Gardner, Kyle Mathews, this lead pack. And let's see what the gap is back behind them. It's about 6.1 seconds back to Brooke Allan, but again, like I mentioned, Brooke Allan, James Richardson, Dylan Poteet, and J Baskinger don't have quite the momentum that this group does, and this group, led now by Nathan Hudson, could swallow up those 4 and then make up a lot of ground by the time we get to the closing stages of this race. There is Baskinger, there is Hudson with McIntosh in tow, and they are catching this second group of race cars. Meanwhile, up at the front, Chris Dodd was able to keep in touch with this lead pack, so now he's in second behind Daniel Guilbert. Anthony McCrury there in third. Gilbert looking for his first win of the season. Dodd looking for his third. And McCrury looking for his second. Then behind them, you've got K Shearer, Johnny Gardner, and Kyle Mathews. They're all looking for their first of the season. Of course, for Kev, first of his career. And the thing that we're looking at more than the cars on track is when they hit the stripe. We're going to be looking up there at our ticker, the gap from the 0-9 back to the 3. And I keep wanting to look back and see if that 4-car pack's gotten reeled in yet. Not quite yet. Dallas McIntosh, Blaine Keys, Trent Dunham, all teammates down there on the bottom working together against Nathan Hudson. And the gap this time, it was about 6.1 seconds. Now it is increased. Wow. Maybe because these top 3 are running single file and they're battling side by side further back. Well, these guys are single file, but they haven't exactly been continually single file. And now these drivers are single file back here. But it might be too little too late. Well, I can't say that. There's still 4 laps to go. Well, a little less than 4 now. Still time. But they got to make up a lot more ground than they've been making up. If they can catch up to this group of 4, this group right here, I think they could definitely do it. They just have to make sure that these guys up here don't kill their momentum. Actually, looks like Brooke Allan is actually starting to make up some ground with this group. They might be getting ready to catch Johnny Gardner, K Shearer, and Kyle Mathews if they can remain single file. And now Chris Dodd's in a bit of a pickle here behind Daniel Guilbert, because if he steps out of line, will McCrury go with him? There's only 3 cars up here. The leader, the car that wants to make the move, and the car that has to decide whether he's going to go with the car that makes the move or take second place. And I did it again. Yeah, that second group of 3 back there now, Gardner, Shearers, and Mathews, I think they're going to get swallowed up. Got a car up ahead, that's Dylan Young. Is on the lead lap, but he is off the pace. Oh yeah, about maybe, wow. What is that? 2.5 seconds separation between this second group and this third group. Brooke Allan, James Richardson, Dylan Poteet, and J Baskinger are starting to catch up to 4th, 5th, and 6th. But Kyle Mathews is over 6 seconds back behind Anthony McCrury. So if Brooke Allan and James Richardson are able to catch these other 3, would they have time as a 7-car pack to catch the top 3? That's the big question. They are now, I believe, in the slipstream of K Shearer, so they will at least get up here and make a 7-car pack. But I don't know if they've got enough time to be able to make enough speed to catch these 3 who have now just gotten around the slower car of Dylan Young. So that at least held them up a little bit. Maybe not much, though. It didn't look like it killed a whole lot of their momentum. There's Dylan Young, and there you see Johnny Gardner going to get swallowed up by B Allan and company, and now K Shearer, K Mathews going to try and hope they get a big push here so they can try and make up some ground. There's still 2.5 laps. There's still plenty of time, but they've got to cut down this time at least 2 seconds off of the advantage that the top 3 have on them. Let's see if they do that. They've got to at least have the gap somewhere around maybe the low 5 seconds. At the line, the gap from the 61 to the 3 is over 10 seconds. The gap continues to increase. I don't think that there's a chance now. Less than 2 to go. They have the numbers, do B Allan and company, but they don't have the time. And those 3 cars, Gilbert, Dodd, McCrury, they are making hay. Only question I have, though, is do they have enough fuel to get to the end? Because like I said, they may have to pit twice in this race. It could be. We could see some drivers hitting pit road this next time around if they can't make it on fuel. This could be very interesting. I'm trying to remember when they all hit pit road the last time around, and I can't quite think of it. They got another slower car up ahead they're going to have to deal with. I think that might have been last week's winner, K Batson, I saw. And indeed it is. So the points leader not going to have a good run here tonight. And here comes Chris Dodd, trying to use that 39 as a pick, and it's not going to work. He tried it. It didn't work. He's going to get held up now by Chris Dodd, and the white flag is going to be displayed for Daniel Guilbert. K Batson still holding up these 2. Daniel Guilbert, unless McCrury and Chris Dodd can work together here, I think that it could very well be all she wrote, and Daniel Guilbert will win this race. Well, it looks like actually McCrury's using K Batson to maybe try and catch up to Daniel Guilbert. They got to get the momentum going here, though, down this straightaway. Oh, they might do it. I think McCrury's actually using K Batson to maybe try and get this win from Daniel Guilbert. Look at this. Look at this. McCrury with K Batson. They're going to try and make a hold of the inside of Daniel Guilbert. And now why is McCrury going up top? They had the momentum. McCrury ditched the 39. Why did he do that? That was not a wise move on McCrury's part. Well, McCrury actually now cleared the spot. Now will K Batson be willing to push McCrury past Daniel Guilbert? They got another slow car ahead. That's Fitzwater. McCrury may have some momentum, but he needs a drafting partner. Chris Dodd's a little ways back. I don't know if he's close enough to offer any help. Can McCrury make the move on his own, coming here to the checkers? He's to the back bumper. He gave a little shot there to the 4 of Guilbert. Gilbert's going to go low to try and get by Fitzwater. Fitzwater holds him up. Now Guilbert gets to the inside of the 59. McCrury's boxed in. Chris Dodd trying to get the outside line going. Daniel Gilbert's going to make it work, though. Daniel Guilbert will pick up his first win of his Hershey's Cup Series career. Takes the checkered flag here tonight at FTF. Daniel Guilbert gets Michael Norman Motorsports their first win of the season. He came into tonight's race 9th in the point standings, and a big-time victory for the National Guard Chevrolet. He took part last season in the Hershey's Cup Series non-charter system and won the season opener at Daytona, so he definitely knows how to get around super speedways and worked the traffic to perfection. He kind of boxed Anthony McCrury in there with Fitzwater in the closing stages, and McCrury just couldn't do anything after that. McCrury was trying to use the slower machines to his advantage, trying to maneuver the slipstream, just couldn't do it, and Daniel Guilbert held off one of the best in that 61 car. Came down to 3 drivers at the end, and Daniel Guilbert bests 2 former champions of the series. Don't know if the standings will be official or not. Could very well be. Yes, they are. That is the first win for Michael Norman Motorsports since Season 3, when the team owner himself, Michael Norman, put the 3 car in victory lane. Anthony McCrury will bring it home in second, so even though he didn't get the win, like we said, he really needed a good run coming into tonight to get back into the top 30 in the point standings, and second place will certainly, I would think, do that for him. Chris Dodd continues his consistent runs there, trying to continue to keep himself away from that cut line with his 2 wins. He gets third. James Richardson there in fourth, and Brooke Allan will finish in fifth, so her finishes continue to be even better and better. It's a 1-5 finish for 2 of the Michael Norman Motorsports entries here tonight. Dylan Poteet will bring it home in 6th. K Shearer, for the first time in 3 weeks, gets Rookie of the Race. J Baskinger in 8th. K Mathews finishes 9th. And Johnny Gardner completes the top 10. Pole sitter Trent Dunham was 11th. 12th for Blaine Keys. Jessica Shelton 13th. So this will keep her in the top 10 in points. Dallas McIntosh gets 14th. So good run for all 3 of the Sega Motorsports cars. 11th, 12th, and 14th. And Quentin Moore will complete the top 15. Rest of your top 20 was Tim Walch, Nathan Hudson, Sean Gallighan, Brandon Gonzales, and Benjamin Miles. Look on down through the remainder of the finishing results. A couple of drivers that were up near the front early in this thing that kind of faded back. Cole Baker, Joshua Michaels, Levi McIntyre, 26th, 27th, and 28th. And Alex Drayton was the last car to finish on the lead lap in the 34th position. Fitzwater, Batson, and Young all finished a lap down in 35th, 36th, and 37th. Caleb Farrell also had an engine issue. We didn't see that on the 95. Tough break for a guy who came in 10th in the point standings. He finishes out of the race due to a camshaft issue, and K Tellier had a camshaft issue as well earlier on in the race, finishing in the 39th position. So that is going to do it here tonight from FTF Super Speedway, though. Hope you guys enjoyed tonight's race. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. We have now run 11 races and have 10 different race winners, which theoretically means we only have 6 spots left in the chase for the championship. We're getting close to All-Star Race Weekend as well, and Daniel Guilbert has now locked himself into that event with the win here tonight. Next week, we're going to have only the Tax Slayer Truck Series and Hershey's Cup Series action coming to you as Pizza Deck Series takes an off week. We're going to the Monster Mile, Dover International Raceway. After that, all 3 series will be at Richmond for our last race of the first half of the regular season. Till then, though, I've been Seth Cole. We will see you guys next time as you've been watching a production of the NNSCRA, Offline Racing at its best. Good night from FTF.